Hello, everybody. Welcome to Paste Studio on the Road. We're live right now at Beach Road Weekend on Martha's Vineyard with Livingston Taylor. Liv, thank you for being here.
Thank you, gentlemen. This is it's a gracious welcome from our large studio audience. And actually, it includes about the four of us.
Yes.
Nice to be here. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you so much for coming out. We're about to hear 3 of your songs today. What do you feel like playing first?
Well, that's a good question. So what happens is you get into a space, and we're at the Beach Road Festival here on Martha's Vineyard, and in the background, there are bands playing, and out here, there's a street. So what happens always musically is that you want to find that music that fits in to the existing world. So you play a note, and you hear how it folds into an environment. Now there's somebody on stage singing, na, 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 na. They were singing that dominant third to one in the key of D. So good, let's stay in D because that's a favorite key of mine anyways. I changed my mind. We'll go to the key of E instead. And because it's summer, we're going to do a light song. This is a song that involves teenage angst. I can sing songs about teenage angst because I'm so very, very far away from it. If for a moment you were me and I were you, how would it be? Would you fall apart when I walk by? Hang around to catch my guy, be jealous of another guy. If I were you and you were I. Would everybody laugh at you? Would they wonder what you're trying to do? Would you have to find a place where a love like ours is no disgrace? Would you have to touch the sky if I were you and you were I? Would it bring me down, watching while this foolish clown runs around to find a way to say I love you? Then you will know what I've been through, what it is to be in love with you. Sometimes hot, sometimes cold, always crazy, never old. Would you think you were a lucky guy if I were you and you were I? You were right if I were you and you.
So Livingston, speaking of teenage angst and teenagers and young people in general. I know from chatting with you offline and chatting with Ralph offline about your educational career and how important and how central that's been to work with young people and pass along musical knowledge. Can you briefly tell us what you're up to educationally right now and what sort of drew you to it in the first place? Like what satisfaction you get from passing along what's in your mind to future generations?
Yeah. Well, it's an excellent thought. Thank you, Brad. One of the 32 years ago, a man named Rob Rose, who is the head of the performance division at the Berklee College of Music in Boston, he approached me, knowing me to be a practitioner, meaning he wanted me to teach a course on what I do all and every day, which is travel around, find audiences, play for them, hopefully add enough value that they will be willing to show appreciation or acknowledgement of the value added to them by paying me a salary, which has worked out, and that's worked out well. That said, so I taught that course at Berklee College of Music, and as is the nature of bureaucracy, Berklee drifted to a direction that was more academic-based and practitioner-based. And I had a practitioner's mentality. So I drifted away from Berklee, and where I drifted to was to the University of Miami in Florida, to the Frost School of Music there, because their dean, Shelley Berg, is one of the great piano players on the planet. And he said, you come and teach at Miami and teach it how it actually is. And so I get to continue to do that. And what I teach is stage performance. I teach how to be on stage, what an audience is, why they behave the way they do, what they're looking for, and above all else, the absolute core ingredient is they must feel better about themselves at the end of your performance than they felt at the beginning. And if they don't, they're not going to finance your adventure.
How it actually
was that
is.
Clear enough?
Yes, that was excellent. I wish that my educational opportunities were good. I feel like I've gotten as much as I need, but I do wish that there was a more practitioner-based education where stuff like how do you take care of yourself while you, we're on the road, we're on tour right now, and there's a lot of simple practical knowledge that just gets learned through hard-fought experience, that if somebody were to say, look, this is how you do it, just practical things, how you set up a business, a bank account, all that kind of stuff, it's extremely important, and I do wish that our educational system had a more similar approach to the one that you do.
Don't worry, we're going after it right now. But what it involves is that it really, the problem with practitioners is that they're not necessarily that pleasant. They tend to be profane, they tend to be coarse and crude and gruff with non-professionals. And if you're expecting practitioners to be skilled in the art of gentle young people human relations, you're going to be disappointed. If you don't get it right, they're going to kick your ass. And what we've found is a reducing tolerance for that. And I got it. I understand, but I just would love to start a school, an educational process where we say out front, these are practitioners. You're not necessarily going to find them pleasant, but you are going to find them informative.
Yeah, I feel like that phrase, principles before personalities, matters a lot. I don't like everybody that I work with. I like this guy a lot. We're having a lot of fun, so that's great, but many of the people we interact with, I just want to shove them. You know,
Yeah.
I don't like them at all. But the thing that they're doing is the thing that I like. So you get over it, and
You
principles
get
before
over
personality.
it, you move forward, but this concept that we need kids in college and everybody's a winner. Here's a little star for you too. You know, I agree with your mother. You're really special. And yeah, and then hello, you show up in a room to do an interview with a 71-year-old old guy with a festival behind you and a friggin' road outside, and now you're in the practicality of life, and it's a wonderful place to be. Enough talking about this. How about I throw another quick song?
I agree, absolutely. Would love to hear it. Thank you, Liv.
All right. Guess what? I get lost crossing the street. I can't find my own 2 feet, but I love my baby and she thinks I'm sweet. I must be doing something right. She's intelligent, patient, hardworking, and shrewd. I'm sarcastic, bombastic, lazy, and rude. But we burn it up when we get in that mood. I must be doing something right. Finally, there's a crystal sunrise. Finally, the world is fair. All the love that I've kept hidden from the moon is finally ours to share. There are plenty of guys she could pick. GQ jawline, hair so slick. I gotta break it to you fellas, you've all been licked. I must be doing something right. There are plenty of guys she could find, good looking, rich, and not out of their minds. But oh, good news, love's still blind, and I must be doing something. Well, I must be doing something, and I must be doing something right. By the way, I want you to know, when I play the guitar and when I sing, that it really sounds good to me as well.
Good.
I mean, I know it sounds good, but when I'm doing it and I'm hearing the notes pour into my ears and I'm hearing what's going on, it's like, wow, I'm playing great. Yeah. You know, I'm singing great, and I'm still me, sort of, you know, because right now I don't know how to do that. And when I start playing and people say, what's your, who do you love to listen to? And I think, I love to listen to me. I love playing. Yeah. No, I also like Steely Dan and the Beach Boys and Glenn Miller and whoever this array of teenagers is showing up on stage here at our festival. But I really love the fact. Imagine being able to listen to those notes anytime you want. All right, last song, and then I'm going to go find me a stage. And with all due respect to your paycheck, it's that audience that makes it possible for me to continue this life. Oh, I'm slightly insecure about this mark on my forehead. And what happened is that I was going to a coat rack. And I was going to a coat rack to get a hat off a shelf to protect my head from banging it. And I don't have to tell you guys what happened. I banged my head. Don't worry, it happens a lot. Just this side of Richmond, that's where we draw the line. That's where we find the courage to take it one more time. We had dreams of glory, now those dreams are gone. I'm listening for your whisper in the dark before the dawn, for you to call me Carolina, or rock me with that melody, find me where I roam, and miss me, Carolina. The rustling of the trees, jasmine in the breeze, tell me please I'm not alone. Carolina, call me home. In the first gray of the morning, the Yankees found their way, and that blue wave came crashing, and the roar was Judgment Day. They seemed so like me as they settled to the ground. In the middle of that hell, I listened for your sound. There was a freckle-headed kid, and we wound up eye to eye, and his rifle would not fire. So he set himself to die, and I saw the slightest cheer for what my steel would bring, but I would not be that merchant, for I was listening for you to call me Carolina, or rock me with that melody, find me where I roam. Oh, miss me, Carolina. Water through my hands, fog across the sand. Can I stand this heart I own? Carolina, call me. Carolina, call me. Carolina, call me home. Thanks, guys.
Livingston,
Good to
thank
see
you
you.
so much for doing this. Have a wonderful festival set. Our next load-in is not for 2 hours, so we're going to follow you out there. You got a whole fairgrounds full of people to entertain. Thank you for doing this. We
Thanks,
appreciate
Brad.
it very
Good to
much.
see you.
All right, see you next time. We did it. That's it. Hell yeah. Thank you.